super excited. Wow, amazing stuff. Well, I will say last year was able to help out and support the program through an opportunity that I had with an entrepreneur center called 1804. And we were running a kind of congenial program for entrepreneurs, and so it was super cool last year getting a chance to have the girls from the Empowered program to actually work on real life websites with our companies, and they did phenomenal work. I mean, still to this day, I'm super proud of what came about, and those entrepreneurs even still talk about working with your girls and working with the team there. But this time last year when we got a chance to hang out, I was sharing about design and talking about how to create good brand aesthetics, and so that was a kind of, I mean, good and informative, but boring. It was like teaching and training, which, you know, you're getting tons of training, right? Tons of fun learnings and new skills. So this go around, I'm excited to come back, mainly because number one, I just love this program. I love hearing about what you guys get to do, which I'll probably have you guys share a little bit while we're hanging out today, because I'm interested to hear what you're learning and interested to hear what's happening. But also today I'm excited because it gets to be more personal. I get a chance to share a little bit about you know, my journey, maybe some things that I've learned along the way, and hopefully you can take something from it, right? Helps you while you're in this program, and then of course can help you as you journey along past this route. Cool? So let's just get kind of a room survey here. What ages do we have, or grades, I would say? You can just shout them out. What grade?
Senior.
Senior? Okay, so how many seniors? Is 3? 4. Gotcha. Okay. What about?
Junior.
Okay, junior. Junior. Same junior? Okay. So is it mostly juniors and seniors? We got any sophomores?
We got a couple. No, we got a couple who are graduated actually.
Ah, perfect. Okay. You guys can really be the ones to share what's on the other side of the hill, right? You're on the other side now, no? Man, yeah. On your way, man. On your way. Isn't it different? It doesn't look. I mean, how different is it, honestly, to be graduated? Does it feel?
That's pretty different.
Yeah. Okay, okay. I mean, is it, so what does it feel like now? Is it a, oh, thank God I'm done, or is it a, oh my God, what's next? Which one? Oh, a little bit of both?
I don't even know. I don't think it's looking in my mind that I'm not going back to
See, listen, all of these responses is exactly, I can attest, all of those responses was exactly where I felt when I was in those same shoes, right? It's somewhat of a excitement / nervousness / holy crap, what do I do? What have I done? You know, what's next? So, and then of course for the rest of you all, right? It's the same. It's like, oh gosh, like junior year, I got one more to rock it out. Let me figure out what I'm gonna do. And everyone keeps asking, what are you gonna do when you grow up? What's the next phase? What's the next journey, right? Am I right? I imagine from junior years when it starts, typically, right? And it gets a little pressure. It's like, holy crap, do I have to have that figured out by now, right? So, like you guys, that literally was me in that stage. I was quite similar to you all in that I was a super driven young girl, was always into tons of programs and trying to learn all that I can learn and get all that I could get and connect with who I could connect to. I also came from a family of entrepreneurs, so my parents were entrepreneurs for about, at that time, 15 years, and created a counseling center. So they actually counseled people and helped families, and so I kind of came under the guise of, I was able to see entrepreneurs and see what it looked like to create your own, you know, build your own, and help others in the process, but then kind of was more on the business side of things. I was really fascinated about operations, right? Like how processes work and how to help people and manage people and what that even means. I don't know, it's kind of crazy. As far as leadership development and what that looked like for me, it was a pretty different route than what maybe most folks see. But it was fun, right? So I got a chance to watch an underrepresented founder, my mother, go day to day and try to figure out how to continue to build her business while help people, right? And so for me, that clicked very, very easily because I've seen an example of an entrepreneur who not only understood the importance of creating your own or being a leader in building, you know, wealth for both your family, jobs and opportunity. She really understood that concept. But on the other side, she was an impact entrepreneur, right? She was a social entrepreneur, and the fact that she really wanted to help the community, help people that looked like her, help people in communities of where she came from and figure out how to provide value, right? So I seen that growing up, and for me, that was huge because I wanted to figure out how to create that for others that were entrepreneurs. I also wanted to be a social entrepreneur myself. I wanted to figure out, man, where does my skills or my thing, like the stuff that I'm passionate about, how can I make sure that I become a boss as well as help people, right? Or help and provide value in ways that can be more impactful than just dollars, right? And so that was something that stuck with me all through my life, career, going through school, going through college and everything. And then one day it finally clicked. At that time, when I was helping my mom, she was really good at the counseling piece, was like a wizard at that. That was her thing. She loved the therapy side. My dad kind of was more of the, the brainiac of operations, so he's definitely, got that covered. But we really struggled with marketing and we struggled with advertising and really didn't have the budget to pay for a really incredible company and agencies to come in and help us out. So that's where I found my niche. I was pretty good at design. I was pretty good at creating things and creating marketing pieces, and I really found that knack early. Even in high school, I would try to create things and throw it on, it wasn't Photoshop back then, it was Microsoft Paint and crazy things. Shows how old I am, yes. But with that, my parents definitely championed that and wanted to utilize the business to help me grow those skills, and that's what helped me try to figure out what I wanted to pursue as a major when I went to school, marketing. So that's where I got my formulating idea of what the heck I was going to do with my life. I knew that I wanted to be involved with entrepreneurs. I knew I loved creating design. I was a creative at heart. I mean, growing up, I was a musician and played basketball and did a whole bunch of different things, probably because I had a little ADHD, but also because I was super passionate about people. But creativity, design, and helping people, that was the main three value systems that carried me literally through college and through the beginnings of my career, right? Then, of course, as we kind of get on the other side of all of that and embarking on that next step, that next chapter, which if you kind of notice, life has a bit of a pattern. Right now you're at the end stage of high school, getting to the end stage of high school, and it's like that, what's next? Guess what? It's gonna happen again. Maybe 3 or 4 years later, right? Maybe when you get on the other side of college, or if you get on the other side of a trade, get on the other side of, whatever pathway you do decide, if you serve in the military, you get finished with that, you're gonna experience this very same emotion. Gosh, what's next, right? What's the next step? What's the next place for me? What does my career look like now, right? How do I figure that out? And so for me, what helped me along the way was that I didn't try to figure those questions out by myself. If you don't learn anything else from today's conversation, or if you don't pick up anything else from today's experience, I do want you to know that a huge, huge, huge portion of success in any career is mentorship, right? Have you ever heard that word before? When you hear mentorship, what do you think? What comes to mind? Anybody? Mentorship.
A guide.
A guide?
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, a guide. Anything else?
Someone taking you under their wing.
Yes. Yes, I love that. Yes, under the wing. You need it. Anything else? Mentorship. There's no right or wrong answers here. You can bring it,
I mean, it actually reminds me of something another speaker was talking about before, like getting friends that are I don't know, leaders too. I don't really remember too much of that.
Yeah. Your circle of influence is very, very important. Who you keep around you, right? The company you keep. You ever heard about that? Birds of a feather flock together, right? You ever heard of it? There is so much value in all of these things about mentorship. And I tell you what, anybody who is anybody no matter if it's the most famous artist in hip hop right now, or if it's the richest man in the world, they would tell you they did not get there by themselves. There's actually no way you can get to success by yourself, right? It takes people that not only care about you, but care about your success, that care about your choices, that care about your future. It takes surrounding yourself with people who have that positive mindset, who have a vision for where you can be and where you can become. It's really, really important that you surround yourself with people that can really help guide you along, give you advice, give you tips, give you an example. I know for me, it's countless examples I have in my life of mentors who were like close mentors that I actually got a chance to talk with and tell about what was on top of my head and how can I handle this, and they were there. And then there's tons of mentors that were mentors from afar for me. I consider them inspirations or not more so people that gave me that example to then aspire to, right? All of these forms are gonna be so important. I say that because this time last year for me personally, I was in a totally different career path. I was in a totally different arena in my life. So I'm just like you. I'm just like y'all seniors right now. I did a shift last year and had to etch-a-sketch my career a little bit and figure some things out, right? Again, this is something that will happen in your career. Things will change and dynamically transition, and that's okay. You need to definitely know that is okay, that the pressure of having to have everything figured out, that's a lie. You don't have to have everything figured out because things dynamically change throughout your career. What is steadfast and what should be constant for you is that, number one, you try to learn your values of what really matters to you, what skill sets and value you can bring to other people, and then surrounding yourself with the people that can help you grow in those skills and grow in those values, and finding the right mentors, right? So my whole career can really be encapsulated in that one word, mentor. Starting from my mother and my father, they were mentors to me because they showcased to me and gave me an example of an entrepreneur, right? Or it gave me an example of people who were impactful in their community, and I wanted to make sure that I was reflective of that I wanted to be the same. I wanted to be someone that really was able to make a difference and to provide impact and value to people that needed it the most. And I seen that early on. So they, for me, was probably my first mentors. And I imagine for you guys the same, right? Parents are always the first kind of examples that we have, right? Parents, guardians, grandparents, whoever is the person in your life, those are usually our first impactful mentors, right? But then as I went along throughout my journey, from playing sports to being involved with church and just being an active kid, there were so many countless people in my life that helped to shape me, that helped me to think different about, my life or situations that I were going through. I would say here recently, because I was on the pathway of entrepreneurship, this time last year, there were so many entrepreneurs and incredible people in our startup community that really helped to shape me, that really helped to guard me from stuff that I was looking to do, or mistakes that I avoided just because I talked to somebody, right? That I was able to learn from their experiences by hearing their experiences. It really helped me to inform my decisions within the last year. So for me, mentorship has been such a huge component of how I've been able to navigate this thing called life and really navigate a career as a young woman. Because you so need mentorship, you so need examples around you to help guide you along and give you answers that you might otherwise wouldn't know, right? I will also add to that too, that kind of going back to what we said earlier as far as having things figured out, right? If I haven't learned anything in the last year, since so much has changed, it's that my goals or being such a motivated young person like you guys are, I mean, I can already tell you're motivated just because you're here, right? Pat on the back for everybody. Go ahead, pat on your shoulder, right? because you're already embarking on your career whether you know it or not. The fact that you're even in this program means that you're already in the process of figuring it out, right? So the next time someone asks, what are you gonna do when you get older? You're like, hey, I'm becoming, I'm figuring it out. In fact, I'm in a skills program this summer, figuring it out, right? It's already started, right? But as you go through your career, things are gonna become, you'll learn some things about careers and jobs and, you know, opportunities. You'll think you might want to be something one day, and then you'll see another example and say, hey, that's pretty cool. I think I want to figure that out too, right? So as things develop and change, know that your career pursuit is not a one level or a goal or a job title or something tangible. You need to really understand the aspect that our careers are journeys. They're not destinations. Oh, that was good.
That way, I was about to say, speak on it.
Listen, like careers are really known as journeys, right? It's just a long journey and a process. So this is also coming from, I'm just recently getting off the book of Becoming with Michelle Obama. Good book. If you haven't read it, get the audio book, whatever. I'm telling you, it'll change your life. But it's so critical to understand that early at this age and stage that your careers, your pathway, your life choices are all a part of a process, not a destination. And I'm gonna tell you why that's really, really important, because it really relieves the tension of having to have it figured out, right? You know, when I was your age, I was such a brainiac, like driven kid where I would be like, okay, when I get to this stage, then it's gonna, it's gonna work out, I'll be good. Then I'd achieve that, right? Then I'd say, okay, what's my next goal? My next goal is this. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with goal setting, because goal setting is very important to life, right? Like it's always a crucial, critical element to leadership of goal setting. However, right, when things shift in your career, or when things change, or when your aspiration decides to shift, sometimes that can be a letdown. Sometimes that can be a little rough. It's, transition for everyone isn't always easy, right? So having that understanding of now that my career is a journey and not a one-sided destination or a one-sided goal, it will save you so much headache and so much stress, so much pressure that we sometimes put on ourselves as driven young women, right? We do it a lot. We'll put pressure on ourselves for the littlest thing. What am I gonna eat today, right? I'll put pressure on myself about how I didn't make it to my friend's party or something, right? I didn't make it on time to this, right? We are very pressure prone as driven young women. So I wanted to, at least let you know the importance of having a really structured and positive outlook on how your journey starting today, starting from this program, is a long game process, right? It is not a destination. It's not a one-sided answer. Because trust me, you seniors and you graduates, as you embark on your next stage, whether it's college, whether it's training school, whether it's tech school, whether it's military, whatever you decide, vocational school, if it's on-the-job training. These are all paths, right? These are all different ways you can start. Believe it or not, you're already starting. You're already getting, job skills here. You're already leveling up, level up. You're already on the path, right? So good for you, right? Now is the chance to start exploring and start figuring out and getting a good, at least steady picture of what you want to become. And that process is going to be ongoing. I wish I'd have known that when I was your age, because I would put so much, not only pressure, but stress myself out, then change decisions with the wind just because I hadn't seen something different. And God knows, if it wasn't for the mentors in my life, where I would be if I didn't listen to people, smart people, right? Cool. So, 3 big things. Number 1, mentorship, right? Mentorship is the name of the game for me personally. Take it or leave it, but I would definitely walk away today assessing, who in my life that has already been pivotal for you. There could be teachers that are already in your life that, you definitely want to keep in your corner. Even if you're a graduate, I know you're kind of like, I ain't going back. I ain't going back to talk to nobody. I'm out of there. Believe it or not, I still to this day have relationships with some of my teachers that I came up with. Why? Because they were I always call them the wise ones in my life, right? They gave so much pivotal advice when I needed it, and I didn't even know I needed it at times. They're good people to keep in your corner. Maybe it's a pastor, maybe it's, somebody from church, maybe it's a youth director, maybe it's a counselor, maybe it's a friend's mom, I would assess today who in your life has really been influential, who's helped you stay on the right path, who helped keep you out of trouble, or who maybe gave you an idea of, man, I like what's the next mom does, maybe I can do that. Those people, I would assess today who those people are. And then also assess what type of people do I want in my life, right? Going from today, what type of mentors do I need to get me to the next level, right? Or to get me to my next destination, to get me to go further beyond this program, So mentorship, man, huge. Is that making sense? Right? Okay. Number 2, right? It's the journey, not the destination, right? I'm still figuring it out, and that's okay. So tell everybody who's like having these, hey, you need to figure it out now. Tell them back off. I'm in the process. I'm pending, right? I'm developing, and it's okay, right? And we need to learn that early, because I'm telling you, mostly family is the biggest pressure, but society will tell you that you have to have it figured out, and that is not the case. Heck, you got people now, 50 and 60-year-old, reformulating their careers and going on their next career. So I'm telling you, it's unending. Don't let people fool you. Yeah, cool. So 2, what did I say, 3? That'd be a good 2 for today. Is there any questions that you have about me, my journey, anything that we talked about? Before that, I want to kind of hear from the group, like what you guys, like, what is your maybe next step, or what you may think you might want to explore or think about for yourselves. I'm really interested in that, just because I like, number one, I like to get to know who I'm talking to, but also 2, I would love to hear if there's anything that I know of that I could be of help. I could be your first, mentor from today to help you lead the way. Let's start with who wants to start?
Jimmy starts.
Jimmy is gonna start. Here we go. So the question is, let me get more clarity. Sorry. The question is, let's do 2 questions. First one, what's the favorite part of this program thus far? All right. Number 2, what are you looking forward to from this program thus far? Right? Is that pretty good? Is that clear?
And then what you want your end goal to be?
Yeah. So
Like
first
your
one is
next shift.
yes, next plateau. Yes. So yeah, number 1, what's been your favorite part thus far? Number 2, what's your next step? And again, there's no wrong answer, guys. We're just talking here. We're just hanging out. Don't put pressure on yourself. Okay.
My favorite thing about this program is the fact that I got to learn coding while being paid, like actually learning something I didn't even know before while getting paid, which is
Like cash money? Like you got real money? Girl, give me some. Listen, career's already started. All right, what's that for you?
The next step is questionable.
Okay. Is it among like 2 or 3 things, or what?
Well, it was like while you were speaking, I was thinking of like how I'm struggling, and like how it's like how I have to get to the next step, but I'm not like pushing myself as hard enough.
Okay.
Mostly because I'm like, I know I need to like apply for scholarships, but that like wastes my free time. And so it's like I have to sacrifice some of my free time to be able to apply to scholarships. So
Yeah. Very much so.
that is probably my next step in talking to my mom about figuring out further on, as like as far as like college goes. And,
Yeah. What does that look like? Yeah. So that's awesome. What I would definitely do, ping somewhere that you know, maybe from school, got some good scholarships, or got a couple, and be like, hey, how'd you get those scholarships, or how'd you position your time, or how'd you manage to get those down? What things do I need to know, right? You can get that from a fellow student, a counselor can kind of help you out. Maybe if you're, the scholarship process is a little tedious, it's like, I'm not sure what this essay means, I need some help on essays. I'm telling you, finding people is the answer to success. Someone has figured it out before you, right? Nothing wrong with asking for help and asking for people's guidance. I'm telling you, I have done that in my entire life. It's not necessarily that I like picking other people's brain, but at the same time, again, there's not too much under the sun that hasn't already been happening. If someone took the time to figure it out, therefore, that knowledge can be accessed, right? Something to think about. Actually, yeah, scholarships are tough, especially nowadays, because they got like a pretty tedious essay regimen nowadays. So I've heard. I mean, essays back in my day was like page and a half, 2 pages. Now it's like we need a 10-page dissertation. I'm just going to college. Cool. I'm excited. That's exciting stuff. Good for you. All right, who's next? You next for me? What's your name?
Tanya.
Nice to meet you, Tanya.
Nice to meet
You remember the question? It just went away, didn't it? It just got nervous, like, holy crap, I gotta speak.
Oh, yeah, wait. I remember the first one. Wasn't it our favorite thing or something we liked?
Sure was.
I like that we have speakers. I
Nice.
get a break.
Whoa.
Nice. Hey, so how was your break time today? Oh, look at that.
Tree house, like, it trains you a little bit.
Uh-huh.
It's tedious.
Yeah. I mean, that's good, though. You're getting challenged every day, so how many people say they've done that after school? Some folks are just, at home twiddling their thumbs. You already have the game. Look at that. Levels.
What was the next question?
So first one was, what was your favorite part? Second one was, what's your next stage?
Oh, okay. I guess getting through college, I'm nervous.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Do you already have a college selected? Yeah? But we had,
Lincoln.
nice. Okay. You scared? What are you scared about?
Because I don't like bugs, and they said there'd be bugs and stuff. And then everybody just saying it's hard.
Listen, we share that. I am, okay, there's a one level to be scared of bugs, and then there's another level to like be anti-bug and like terrified. Like literally for me, so in college I had to have teammates come and kill bugs in my apartment. Sorry, it's embarrassing to admit, but I'm scared of bugs too. I am. They're scary. You don't know if they bite, they sting, it's just a lot that you can take on. Yeah. Hey, that's honestly, that would be the least of your worries in college. Bugs get killed, they got working man, he comes through and takes it out, it's just how it works.
Take it out, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, hey, exciting to hear that you do have a next destination, which is cool.
I hope they don't have bugs.
Right, yeah, that's a real, listen.
That's not what I would do.
Only because I'm on the same team, I'm not gonna let you snicker. I'm on the same team. Bugs are scary.
You see the bugs, you just gonna be like, hey, like,
I'm gonna kill it. But that wouldn't have been my main worry.
I know. Yeah, it's a worry because what if I go to sleep and I wake up to a bug?
Mm.
Okay, got it.
You just look it up.
Hey, you know what though? As a relief, that probably might happen at least once out of the 1,000 days you're gonna spend in college. Seriously, 1 out of 1,000 chances will a bug wake up next to you, like chilling, like what up, in bed with you. But I'm just saying, that's least of your worries.
Just want to pass the classes and not deal with the bugs.
There you go. Hey, secret to success. Pass class and don't deal with bugs. I'm telling you. Cool, man. All right, who we got next?
Taya.
Taya.
Nice to meet you, Taya.
What I like the breaks we have and like meeting new people and growing met this year. What's my next step? I guess passing my junior year.
There you go. Okay.
What's the last question?
Yeah. Well, next stage for you. Like, what ideas do you kind of have of what you want to be, or?
I know I don't want to work for nobody, so.
Okay. So, okay, future entrepreneur. I like it. I like it.
But I don't know what though, so.
Cool, cool. So definitely means we probably need to start hanging out with some entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe going to a few events in town where entrepreneurs hang out. Yeah. Maybe hit up a startup weekend. Yeah. Heard of it?
I'm not gonna start weekends yet.
We can talk about it later. Yeah, startup weekend's a really cool event. Yeah. Tell you about it. A lot of entrepreneurs, or at least people who like to create things, hang out at startup weekend. You build a business in a weekend. Super fun. Cool. All right, who we got next?
Fatima.
Hi, Fatima.
Yeah, I like how we get to write reflections at the end of the week about like what we've done. And then
Nice.
My next step for me is to pass ACE and ICT with a good score.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Have you taken it before? Since your first time? Gotcha. Been doing any prep? Nice study? Good. You're like 10 times ahead I was when I was your age. So I like winged it the first one and did of course horrible. And then the second one I finally got myself together and got some help. But yeah. Good luck with that. It's gonna be cool. Any thoughts or possible ideas of what you think you may want to pursue?
I'm not sure yet.
Yeah? That's cool. That's cool. Well, you ain't gonna get any pressure from me, that's for sure. I'm telling you, man. It's unreal. Alright, who we got next?
I'm Zoe.
Hi, Zoe.
I think I like the most is like how like loose the work is. Like it's like not fast paced.
Mhm.
You go at your own pace and like you get to like learn and like make your own environment like with the cubicles and stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, like meeting the girls and stuff. It's like really fun. And then
She should be your Facebook video commercial.
I know.
This is great, yeah.
I
Awesome.
know.
my next step, I don't know, like senior year, like applications and like filling out forms for like schools and stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to get scholarships. I'm gonna co-op in senior year.
Okay.
Because I don't really want to go to school all day anymore. And then,
She's like, I'm over it.
and then, for like my career, I'm thinking of like being a pilot.
Fun. Okay.
So I need to get hours.
Yeah. Engineering, aerospace engineering is really cool. In fact, like side note, side advertisement, EKU, East Kentucky University, has an aviation school.
It was WKU.
I think it's, well, they might. I didn't go to WKU. I went to EKU though, and there was a lot of pilots that I was jealous of because their first jobs out the gate were like paying 3 times what any of us would make, and they got to fly around the country. So, I mean, you gotta learn a lot, but just saying.
Zoe's interested in Purdue, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. There you go.
Great school.
Yeah, man, pretty. Yeah, that is a good school. That.
I think they have like the #1 program in the country.
But I'm thinking like as far as I'm trying to think, like alumni that's here in town. There's a lot of Purdue
There's
alumni.
probably a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Believe that would be something to check out, right? Talk about mentorship, talk about connecting. Man, reach out. Cool stuff. Who do we have next?
My name is Kiosha, and
Hi, Kiosha.
I don't know, I guess I like how we got to meet each other and stuff like that. And then like, I really just want to get done with my senior year. Make sure I have a cute senior picture.
There you go. Hey, but those go down in history. Them the ones your mom pull out, you know, when you're grown.
I'm very dedicated.
Make sure it's a good picture.
And then like, I want to go to St. George in the Cayman Islands so that I can work with elephants.
Nice. You want to go to where in Cayman Islands? What was, I missed that.
St. George.
St. George.
College for veterinarians.
Really? Nice. I'm impressed. Cool stuff. And working with elephants. So is that a what type of that's not zoology. What type of what would that be called? Working with elephants. You know?
With phenology.
Hey, something to Google.
Do you want to be a vet? Is that?
Well,
I might
we're
not
only
be just a
elephants.
vet.
I don't want to work with no other animals but elephants.
Well, vet
Allergies
technically,
for-
that's also, it's vet, but that can be like many other positions.
Yeah. Yeah, so exotic animal. That sound like cool, man. Listen, look it up. Look up what it's called. You want to get right?
Yeah.
Look up what it's called so that you can learn more about it. You know, and that's how it works. Especially when you start getting to school and exploring, you'll start to see what else is out there under that guise of elephantology. Right? Cool stuff, man. I like it. Hey, that's our joke, guys. Okay, don't go out and say I want to be an elephantologist. Don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. This is just us. Cool. All right. So,
My name is Grace. So far, I think I've I just meeting everybody at the program. It's been cool, a good experience.
cool. Okay.
And my next step is just getting through college, like excelling through college, rather.
Gotcha. Ideas of where you're going, or are you still figuring out?
I'm going to FISC.
Nice. Okay. Cool. I got a cousin with the FISC.
It's cool.
It is. In a cool city too.
Yes.
Nice. Well, good for you. FISC is HBCU, right?
Yep.
That's what I thought. Perfect. Awesome stuff. And it's not how Beyonce put it on Beychella. It's the HBCUs that was just maybe like a of what HBCU life is like. It was the glam vibe. I mean, it was great. I love Beychella. She did. So I was a reference to Did anybody watch Beychella or the Homecoming documentary on Netflix?
Twice.
Yeah. Okay.
I watched it twice, but the first time I wasn't
Not a bug. We're good.
You shared.
We're good. No, I'm playing.
The first time I didn't really watch.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't really watch it the first time. Like I watched skim through it.
Yeah.
But then the second time I was like trying to take it in.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm part of the Beehive. Like I'm an avid Beyonce fan, avid fan of the documentary, avid fan of the performance. But I'm glad that she elevated HBC life. But that literally, I'm telling you, it's like a inch of the full, spectrum experience. So good for you, young friend. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be nice. All right, my friend. Wait a minute, we got two more. I was about to say you're the last one. We got two more. I'm not forgetting you. Wait a minute, she's not a student? I'm sorry, I just assumed.
But she is a
I'm
student.
sorry.
I'm a student.
She is a
I'm an
student.
intern here. I'm not technically part of this program.
Oh, I'm sorry. Apologies.
Apologies.
I just know she brought me in here. I just assumed. I'm sorry.
She's in the right age group, but she's helping us out.
Well, great.
She's helping to teach.
Well, great, man. Listen, let me tell you something. I am not far from correction. Definitely, correct me. Let me know.
You
That's
can
awesome.
still share.
I can still share. Awesome.
Are you gonna share?
Yeah, of course she is. Of course she's gonna share. We always together.
Okay, we'll go to Chris and Bryce, and Joker should go, and then.
Perfect. There we go. We're all bought in. I love it. Look, they checking everybody in. They're like, "Oh, you gonna share too? No? Where you going? You just looking over here?" All right, who we got? Who's next?
Chris.
I'm sorry. I heard part of the program is probably learning, but I guess the specifics of coding. So like what makes the websites work, all of the different languages that tie into a language, into the websites working and everything else.
Cool.
And I think my next plan is probably finishing high school and finding a college I want to go to.
Nice. Great. I like it. Cool. Don't want to assume, because I've failed in assumptions before. Exhibit A. Do you have any idea of future? Is coding something that you think you want to pursue later?
But it is and it isn't.
Gotcha.
It's confusing.
Cool. Okay, here we go. Now I'm playing. Thanks for sharing. I'm gonna leave it optional for you guys if you want to.
Okay.
I don't know what time it is.
share.
I don't know how much time we even have, but yeah.
We have as much time as you have.
Oh, cool. Great.
My name is Angelica. I'm much more seasoned than they are.
I like that. Seasoned. Yes.
I am 26. I am a student at U of L. I'm a master's student, so I'm about to be finished literally in a month. Super excited. Thank you.
Bravo.
I enjoy, what I enjoy about this program is being with the young ladies, because outside of here, I'm a teacher and I only predominantly teach young men. I'm a cyber engineering teacher, so I'm really heavily into computer science, but there's not a lot of women or young ladies who are interested. So I enjoy being around these young ladies. But I think like my next journey is more along the lines of entrepreneurship.
Okay.
I do believe that my teaching field is coming to an end for me.
Okay.
But I just want something new. I want something more, and I want more for myself. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So look at that.
I'm still doing something with computer science, but
Yeah. And you said cyber
engineering.
Cyber engineering. Wow. Jeez Louise, you ain't gonna worry about your next level. That field alone.
Yeah, I gotta get some more training.
Yeah. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Now see that, guys? Look, we're a level higher. This is master level, and guess what? Same boat. What's next? Sure. We have figured it out. Good stuff. Thanks for sharing.
No problem. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, hi, I'm Bryce.
Bryce.
Yes, I just finished my first year of college, so I'm not that much older than else.
Can I give you a 1A question?
Okay.
Like for you?
Yeah.
Okay. What's been the biggest thing you learned from year one?
Year one?
Yeah. For the ladies that are about ready, right? We got Lincoln, we got Fisk, right? Okay.
I think for me, it was just learning about the importance of like my relationships with other people and like maintaining that alongside with like academics or anything else.
Yeah.
I think people really underestimate how important like just people are in general in your life. So
Look at that.
I think
Look at that.
that's something that not a lot of people say, but that's something that surprised me.
Yeah. Perfect. Thanks for dealing with the 1A question. Cool. Appreciate that.
Hi.
Hey, come on in.
Alright. So far in this program, I've enjoyed getting to know everyone and just working with everyone. Like, y'all are a fun bunch. And then also, just in general, I like the slower pace of life here, I think. Like, compared to college at least, like, in college it's always so busy. There's always things to do, things going on.
Yeah.
But like here, when it's summer, I'm just here. It feels nice to go here, go home, be able to make myself dinner.
Little
and
things. Look at that.
take the time to do things. I think that's really nice.
Gotcha.
As for what's next, I still want to explore more things. I'm interested, like career-wise, working in like product management or like a product and tech.
Okay.
I'm also interested in diving more into like UI or UX design.
Fun.
And I don't know, I'm thinking about looking more into marketing too. Like,
Yeah.
I might want to try to take a marketing class in like a business school.
I would suggest about 3. Every job requires it. Seriously.
Okay.
Seriously. I would take about 2 if you can. If it's part of your, 1 to 2 marketing classes will do you so much. I'm telling you, so much better. Because even when it comes to just basic communication and communicating with others throughout an organization, outside of the organization, handling clients, handling customers, handling other fellow employees, I'm telling you, communication is the essential skill. Cool stuff, man. And where are you? Where are you at now?
In school?
Yeah.
I go to Yale.
Gotcha. Awesome. So you're a bulldog?
Yes.
Oh, we have a bulldog. Cool stuff. Yeah. I don't know. That's how Louisville literally like talks about you guys. We're like, oh, you got a bulldog? We got a bulldog.
Who's your bulldog?
Oh crap. Alvin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Alvin. Oh man, he's amazing. He's a wizard. I love him. He's just been such a help. We're like a
You know
team.
about his marimba playing?
I seen his video. He is like an avid percussionist.
Marimba player.
Yeah. He's like world.
Yeah,
world
he is
renowned.
like
Yep. Good
Wait,
stuff.
Dia has joined us for a
Hi.
doctor's appointment.
Hey, how are you? Pleasure to meet you. Okay, I'm gonna let the team and the crew kind of inform you on what we're doing. What's the first thing she gotta share, guys? Since she came in?
What's your favorite part about the program?
Okay. And second is?
What's your next stage?
My favorite part would be, I guess, being introduced to something new. Because I'm a health science major, so I'm always looking at the human body and
Yeah.
just finding something else that I think is interesting. So maybe I could somehow incorporate that into my future career. I want to be a pediatric physical therapist.
Awesome.
So just seeing different ways to
work
Yeah.
experience. And then what was the second question?
What's the next step?
Oh, well, I'll be a junior this fall at Tennessee State University. So just finishing up my next 2 years for my bachelor's and then start applying to doctorate programs for physical therapy.
Awesome.
Probably gonna take a couple of computer science classes. My mom thinks I should do that. So,
Perfect.
and I can now with this learning about the web design and all that. So
Yeah.
look into it.
That's starting to become an essential skill too, believe it or not. It's crazy. Marketing, of course, you gotta know how to talk. And a lot of skills. Digital skills is something that's like it's not even on the rise. It's pretty much mandatory.
It's risen.
Yeah. It's risen. It's resurrected. Okay, so you said Tennessee State, yeah? Are you originally from here, from Louisville? Okay, talk about going to school outside of where you're from. Not talk about specific, what's something you learned from going outside of Louisville and
There's a lot of different culture at my school. Like the people, I wouldn't say it's different languages. It's just different ways that people speak. Like I don't know. Sometimes there's terms we use in Louisville or in Kentucky that they don't understand, and vice versa. So there's always different people you never met before, different types of people.
yeah. So culturally, it's been a like shift or something to get used to. Yeah. Cool.
Like in high school, I went to Male. So going from Male to HBCU, being around more African Americans, it's different. It's a different environment than being in my high school.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. You got a lot to learn, right, from her. First, initial mentor, right? Cool. These connections, tell me what she said. People are important. It's gonna be key. Cool stuff, guys. Well, that's pretty much all I had. Any questions or anything you want to ask me, I can literally take on any question. I'm one of those speakers that I'm not scared of answering.
Tell us about what you're doing with Endeavor and.
Yes. So I shared earlier that this time last year I was actually part-time working for an entrepreneur center called 1804 as a fellow, and then I also had my own agency called Greater Works Design Studio, which I actually did graphic design, marketing, web design, and contractual print work. So now I am full-time working with an organization called Endeavor, and so we're one of 34 offices around the world that work with growth stage companies and really incredible entrepreneurs. So, at 1804, it was more so of an open door entrepreneur center. Anyone who's interested in entrepreneurship, come on, let's, help guide you. Well, this organization is more specific towards entrepreneurs that may be 3 or 4 years, past the startup phase, and they kind of, got a knack of what they're doing. They're now, scaling and growing to regional, if not national level. Have about, I'd say 20 plus to 50 employees, and they're, having multiple locations and are just, again, burgeoning, growing, and going beyond that pack of startup. But what we do essentially is we surround them with supportive services and advisory. So we pretty much provide mentorship and guidance. Hey, wink, wink, believe it or not. We provide them with mentorship with entrepreneurs who have been at their stage but are maybe a few stages ahead, to help them, give them advice and guidance on their next level of challenges, right? So throughout the day, we work with entrepreneurs that are considered Endeavor entrepreneurs in our portfolio that we help to work with. So that's what my day is split up with helping those guys. And then part of my day is to help prospect and scope and try to find new companies that are burgeoning and showing signs of growth, and then we can help them to grow bigger. Our biggest thesis, and the reason why we do this, is because entrepreneurship itself is the driving factor and is one of the many driving components of economic development. Pretty much for a city to grow, for a city to develop, for a city to maintain and create thriving economies, is at the helm and the power and the influence of entrepreneurs that build these massive companies that hire thousands of people, that create, a massive amounts of job creation and wealth, right? So our organization is really wanting to be the catalyst of that. We want to help grow entrepreneurs that have that same vision and have that same mindset to be a huge, large firm that, you know, employs a lot of people, as well as has the ethos that I want to give back. I want to invest through money. I want to invest time. I want to invest mentorship into other entrepreneurs so that they can do the same. And that's what we literally do every day. Yeah, and so it's fun because, again, these entrepreneurs are everywhere, so we get to go everywhere to find them. Our office specifically covers Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, so between here, Indianapolis, and Cincinnati is probably where I'll be hanging out throughout the week. And then every other month, once we put these entrepreneurs through our process, we get to send them to this really fascinating event called the International Selection Panel. And so it's in one of our 35 offices around the world, and we get a chance to hang out for 3 days with people from around the world. Now, ask me, did I think I was going to be doing that a year from now? No. Ask me if I thought I was going to be doing something like that when I was in high school. Absolutely not. But see how it goes. I knew that I wanted to work with entrepreneurs, right? I knew I wanted to, you know, be around or support or help entrepreneurs like my parents. I knew that I wanted to creatively help people, you know, in a creative way. And I knew I wanted to be impactful and provide impact and value to people. Isn't that weird? So those have been the constant for me. The look, right? The flow, the hustle has changed. It looks different. But those values for me have been the constant to align. And that's what I want for each and every one of you. Find those key values, because those are going to be the guidelines along with mentors to help you go away. Cool? So, yay. Perfect. Well,
Was there any questions?
thank you, Lee. Did you? You shared, right?
No, I
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay.
well, I don't really, have a favorite part of this program.
All of it's your favorite.
Huh?
All of it's your favorite.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, each year is so different, and I learn so much every year from you guys about, how you see life and work together, and I think it's really interesting. I really learn a lot here. I guess next steps for me, I just want to keep my head on when I go to college, not freak out, not, fall apart. Like, I just want to meet really inspiring friends. I want to take exciting classes, interesting classes. I want to get involved with the school community. I want to try to do some new things that I haven't done before.
Yeah. Incredible. Awesome. You said MIT out there. What's the specific kind of major in?
Well, I'm right now in the bioengineering department.
Cool.
I don't know if I'll stick to that or not, but that's something I want to figure out. So like next summer, I'll be doing an internship at a pretty big pharma company. So I think that'll give me a good idea, like, is this an industry I'm interested in? Is this industry I'm interested in disrupting specifically? But I mean, I might love it or I might hate it, and then we'll see whether I stick to that major or not.
Perfect. That's okay. And it's okay, right? To experiment and do that.
Yeah.
That is super phenomenal. Cool stuff. These ladies, believe it or not, wingmen, right? Because you're like, I just want to get up there and succeed and figure it out. Hey, she could probably tell you how important time management is, right? Because now you're saying, I got time to do all types of stuff, but when I was in school, woo, right? Let these ladies be one of the many guys that,
Yeah, definitely.
it's crazy cool.
Yeah.
And people, important. All right, guys. Well, if there's nothing else, if you don't have any questions,
I have a question.
Okay.
And you have a question.
Okay.
What advice do you have to someone who has stage fright as far as like public presentations?
Yeah. Okay. What is my advice to people who might have stage fright? Okay, or fear of public speaking. So for me, believe it or not, the way I've been able to be so comfortable in speaking with people is because I had a really embarrassing moment in elementary school, really going into middle school. And so for me, fell flat on my face in front of 200 students dancing on stage. And so when I did that, it made me fearless of anything that you can do on stage, because guess what? I literally fell off stage in front of 200 plus people. Now, of course, it was just 200 people, but it wasn't just 200 people. It was 200 kids that never let me forget it all through my high school, because it was like, you remember that time when you fell on stage when you were to school? So for me, I was able to tackle fear and get over it by experiencing something that I feared the most, getting in front of people, which was either falling off stage, being embarrassed, saying something embarrassing, right? I did it. So now it's like, what else can I do that, would freak me out? Now, for those, I don't want you to have to go through a similar experience. You shouldn't have to, but just like with the skill sets that you're garnering here with coding and with the tech, practice. Find ways to practice having to speak with folks, and in different settings, right? Could be a small setting like this with 10 plus people. Could be intimately with 2 to 3 people, but every time you get in front of folks, the more practice you're able to give and avail for yourself, the better you become, right? And don't pressure yourself to be perfect with it every single time, because there's no perfect way to be a public speaker. 100%. Even the best public speakers today mess up every time. We may not know they do, but they mess up a lot. People forget their lines. People forget their, what they want to say and that sort of thing. So I would just say definitely practice. For further study, there are different organizations. Actually, I don't know if Toastmasters does stuff in high school or not, but there's like different organizations or programs, just like you're doing here with getting tech skills. There's programs that require you to, do presentations or to learn a little bit about, speaking and what that looks like and what that feels like. So I would definitely, take a look and search out. Some folks I've heard, that I didn't have to do this because I just was a busy kid, but I've heard where getting involved in theater, getting involved in stuff in school, maybe not actually being in a play, but just getting involved in a theater club or an organization that requires you to get in front of people. That is another kind of way I would think. At least I've heard from other colleagues of mine, students of mine, going into theater for them, help them to face that fear, and then it kind of helped them during their career too. So.
That was a good question.
Yeah. Really good question. But yeah, I just came up on the cross that I just embarrassed myself, and then I was like, oh, there's really much I can't do now. That's all. Did you have another question, or was that?
Yeah, you might have already answered my question. I was gonna ask why you quit your other job or left it.
Yeah. So that's a good question. So this position actually came available right before my previous organization had temporarily shut down. So they were actually in the process of turning into a new organization, and that's kind of the nature of working for a nonprofit. Sometimes nonprofits come and go, companies have ebbs and flows. And so coming into the last season of that company, that's when I started to look for my next step, next stage, next progress in life. And I just happened to hear about this position specifically and applied for it. Specifically, I would say though, even before I learned about this position, I knew that I was going to be doing some type of transition of some sort, even before I even found out that the organization's not going to exist anymore. So, if anything, I've been an avid, conductor of change. For me, change is not hard. It must come from my entrepreneurial background or just my athlete background, because especially when you play athletics. I played athletics in college as well too. I probably should have said that. I was a collegiate athlete. So, your career and things are constantly shifting and changing, and that kind of just helped me to be okay with change, and be okay with new things. But it's hard for others, you know what I mean? It's not an easy thing, right? It's not an easy thing to see, hey, my job, am I gonna be here in a couple months? What am I gonna do? For some folks, that might have freaked them out. But for me, I took my time. My mentorship was what helped me get to where I am. Not only for the physical job, I actually got referred. I got referrals to get to where I am, to this position. But beyond that, talking to other women to see, what do you think, or what should be my next step? What should I do with my company? That sort of thing. It was the company that I kept that helped me to figure things out. So, yeah. that's why I left. I didn't leave, it just dissolved. Go. Any others?
What sport did you play in college?
Basketball. So I played ball. And I was a center. No, I wasn't a center. I was a point guard. I was the shortest person on the court. But I like to tell people that, yeah, I was a center, and they're like, you're sure you're the center? You're the biggest person? I'm like, nah. But yeah, I played basketball. Played all through high school. Played on our Indiana Kentucky All-Star team back 2008, and then played for 2 seasons at Marshall University. So that was my first college that I went to, and then came back home mainly for family reasons. Had some stuff going on with family, and so I came back and transferred to EKU, and then that's where I finished my career.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Got lucky. Because most folks when they transfer is kind of tough. Change, right?
Marshall University.
Yeah, like you know the movie We Are Marshall. You ever heard of it? The football team.
I had a check
Yeah. Yeah, they're in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on the Kentucky West Virginia line. Huntington. Really crazy city. Boy, did I learn a lot about Appalachia
Oh,
for a black woman.
Have you ever
That
read
could be another conversation, another day. No, I'm playing.
Have you ever read the book Appalachia by Frank Walker?
I haven't.
Appalachia.
Afro-Lachia?
Appalachia.
No, that sounds like a good book.
Gotta look into it.
Afro-Lachia. I will.
Appalachia.
Yeah, I will.
It's a poetry book. It's super easy to read, but it's based off of
And what's the author?
Frank X. Walker. He's a Kentucky poet
Okay. Nice. I
from
will look that
Danville.
up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's from Danville. He is a professor at University of Kentucky.
Yeah. That's super cool. I like it.
Do you have any business cards? That's what my question was going to be. Do you have business cards?
I do. And I don't know if you, do we need to close out or anything, or how do we?
no, yeah.
Oh, cool. Yes, I do. I do have business cards. I'm on social, Twitter. I'm an open book.
Do you guys want to ask for some business cards? Does anybody want some?
Yeah.
Great.
Great, cool.